Alberta making moves. Danielle Smith is just on a tear. She's firing people up. She's really, as we said at the start of the show, she's upsetting a lot of people, frustrating a lot of those homies over in Ottawa. And we are just, this is just the start of it here. It says, Danielle Smith dropped this announcement on the homies. She says that our province has so much to offer, our resources and economic growth, and our innovative ways of working with Indigenous communities towards reconciliation and shared prosperity. Today, we launched our Alberta to Ottawa office that will give us the base of operations we need to advance Alberta's priorities on the ground in our nation's capital. The office will strengthen our relationships with partners on Parliament Hill and in other parts of Canada and will help us stay informed on emerging decisions that impact Alberta. And people are getting scared of this, dude. There was a response to this. George Chahal, who's an MP, a Liberal MP for Calgary Skyview. And he says, when Premier Danielle Smith comes to Ottawa next week, I hope she'll explain to the Natural Resources Committee why she's putting clean energy investments at risk. As a proud Albertan, I want to know why she stranded $33 billion in renewable projects as our province struggles to keep the lights on. Conservatives need to stop the war on renewable energy and on the building the reliable, clean grid Canadians need. And to that, Smith said, I would be happy to come speak. Is this a formal invitation? As luck would have it, I just landed in Ottawa. Jerk. That was a boss move. That was a boss move.
That was. I appreciated that. And that to me, she says, I'm confident in what I'm doing. You know, don't mess with me. And it's funny because I've listened to her talk a couple times on renewables. And she said, this doesn't work in our province. Solar and wind are not the way forward for Albertans. And I believe she's right. I do think that it could go geothermal personally, just where they're on the side of the Rockies and they got lots of steam, lots of hot water that they could take advantage of. But she is right that solar and wind at its current point in technology and in development is not right for Alberta. And so the fact that they're trying to paint her as this oil-loving fascist, give me a break. This poor woman, good for her.
She's fighting a good fight. And that's the one thing I do love about her. And is I felt it on the show too, where when you feel like you're getting the overall support of your province, it starts firing you up a bit. You get excited, you start getting more confident, you get courageous, and you start putting people like George in their place and start making him feel uncomfortable in his position. And this is where I'm getting super excited because we know when you're fighting for the people, you can't go wrong. When you are actively you're doing things that is screwing the people over, you know you don't have a leg to stand on. And so as soon as truth exposes the crap that you're doing, people get scared. And we seen that from George and the Liberals this week.
I just love the comment at the bottom there. Bluff called. Get him, Danielle Smith.
Get him, Danielle. Yeah. So that's the drama that's kind of going on, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy that she's. One thing I do appreciate about Danielle is that she's not intimidated, and she's going headstrong into this. And I love the idea of putting an Alberta Ottawa office there. Brilliant idea.
So I've heard lots of controversy about that. They're like, why do they need that? They already have members in Parliament. Look at Quebec. They have an entire party that's a federal party that's all about them. That's literally all they do is they're just there to promote Quebec interest in the House of Commons. That's literally all they're there for. And there's a whole federal party. They want an office, give them an office. Give them 2 offices. I don't care.
Yeah, it makes sense. And especially when you have something like Alberta that has had such a tough relationship with Ottawa during the Trudeau years. I think it's smart to we want boots on the ground, what's happening there and represent Albertan interests that are working directly with me on the provincial level. He said, well, you have the MPs. Like, yeah, but they're taking care of federal jurisdiction issues as MPs. And they're also advocating for their communities, but like there's certain things they really can't touch. Whereas like if someone on the provincial level representing you in Ottawa, getting on the ground, seeing what's going on, I think that's a good idea. I'm here for Albertans in that. And, it's funny because it was actually you and Jennifer that really kind of opened my mind to this. I didn't realize at the time, but you just said it there where, they're the Bloc Québécois federal party only runs in one province, but somehow has a seat at the table on a federal level. That's crazy and so stupid. And people are crying about this? Get out of my face.
Yeah, I've been hearing that it's like they're creating an embassy. You know, this is just one step towards Wexit.
No, Wexit. No, not about Wexit. Well, part of the reason is you're giving people a reason to start thinking Wexit over here.
I know.
But yeah, like Quebec, they have such a stranglehold on this country. That needs to end. Mm-hmm. That really needs to stop. Or you're gonna see a lot more contentiousness. And honestly, at this point, if we had another referendum in this year in 2024, saying Quebec needs to separate, I would vote in support that they should go. Get out of here. Stop living off the teat of Alberta and the rest of the country, and actually develop your own natural resources that you have, and screw off and stop crying. I'm done hearing about it in Parliament. Go do your own thing. I'll vote. I'll happily pack your boxes for you. Get out of Confederation if that's the attitude you're going to have. I'm done with it.
So what's interesting is when you actually look at the breakdown of equalization payments, Quebec gets like 50% or something close to that. I'd have to actually get the full number, but when you look at the pie chart, it's overwhelmingly Quebec. And you have to wonder, is that because they have so many members in Parliament voting for Quebec interest and Quebec interest only? So yeah, go to Danielle, put your office there, get the people on the ground, get the boots on the ground, start lobbying, because that's what Quebec is doing, and it's working for them. So you get yours.